Join me tomorrow for Idle Chatter. Good Morning Washington at 6.
Welcome to World News Tonight. A horrific attack. Dozens killed in an alleged chemical strike. Families among the dead. Children seen being hosed off as President Trump delivers a forceful message, slamming Syria and its, quote, animal president, and calling out Russian President Vladimir Putin by name, warning there will be a big price. The fire at Trump Tower, a deadly blaze on the 50th floor, burning debris tumbling from the skyscraper. What we're now learning about the victim and the search for a cause. The wild weather tonight, a passenger plane skidding off the runway, dangerous travel as a snowstorm moves east, a freezing Monday morning for millions. Plus, the hockey team tragedy, an entire community stunned, 15 killed when a truck collided with a bus, many of them just teenagers. And now, what caused the fatal crash? And Tony Robbins apologizing, the superstar life coach, what he said about the Me Too movement, the outrage that caused one fan to take him on in front of thousands.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas, and we begin tonight with the horrific attack overseas and the forceful threat here at home. The pictures coming in and a warning they are difficult to look at. Children being hosed off, treated after an alleged chemical attack in Douma that reportedly killed at least 40. President Trump responding on Twitter, vowing a big price will be paid, slamming Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, calling him a, quote, animal, and also calling out Russian President Vladimir Putin by name. It was 1 year ago that President Trump launched Tomahawk missiles in Syria. But just last week, the president suggested the possibility of pulling troops out of that war-torn nation. We'll have more on the White House reaction in a moment, but we begin with ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell in London.
Tonight, serious questions about whether these images prove the Syrian regime just attacked its own people with chemical weapons again. A war crime. The strikes came after dusk Saturday, following a months-long barrage of attacks in the district of Douma near the capital Damascus. What happened next is difficult to watch. Patients pouring into makeshift clinics with burning eyes, struggling to breathe. At least 40 dead, choking on an unknown substance. Once again, the regime of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, backed by the Russians, has denied using chemical weapons, claiming these videos are fabricated. They've said the same thing repeatedly in the past. But President Trump declaring today it is a chemical attack. It's been just over a year since a similar strike in Khan Sheikhoun.
Tonight I ordered a targeted military strike on the airfield in Syria from where the chemical attack was launched.
There have been at least a half dozen suspected chemical attacks in Syria since the president launched those airstrikes, which were meant to deter. Tonight, the Russian Foreign Ministry warning against any new military intervention and claiming that the fighting in the area that's left men, women and children buried in their own collapsed homes has now stopped. It may be impossible to verify who carried out this latest attack or what it was, but the agony, suffering and death of Syria's children is beyond doubt. The question tonight, what does America and the world do about it?
And Ian Pannell joins us live now from London. Ian, we've seen those horrific images before. You've covered the civil war in depth. What do you expect from the international community and the United States to stop these attacks?
It's a really good question, Tom. Well, look, the UN Security Council is holding an emergency meeting tomorrow. Washington's made it clear that nothing is off the table, but unless there is concrete action, it's hard to see any of this stopping or putting off President Assad or his allies. Tom?
Ian Pannell for us tonight. Ian, thank you. And President Trump was already set to meet with his senior military leadership on Monday. For more on the White House's reaction, let's go right to ABC's Tara Palmieri.
Tonight, President Trump, faced with graphic images of dead families and suffering children, didn't wait for verification before declaring Syria's actions a chemical attack. Many dead, including women and children, in mindless chemical attack in Syria. President Putin, Russia and Iran are responsible for backing Animal Assad. Big price to pay. In addition to slamming Syrian President Assad, Trump attacked Russian President Putin for the first time on Twitter. The president's Homeland Security and Counterterrorism advisor made it clear Military options are open.
I wouldn't take anything off the table. These are horrible photos. We're looking into the attack at this point.
It's a striking contrast to the president's recent words that he would be willing to pull 2,000 U.S. troops out of Syria.
By the way, we're knocking the hell out of ISIS. We'll be coming out of Syria like very soon. Let the other people take care of it now.
But after today's events, that may no longer be an option. It was pictures of innocent children victimized by a chemical attack last year that provoked his first military strike against Syria.
I will tell you that attack on children yesterday had a big impact on me. Big impact.
Tonight, Republicans calling for the president to stick to his tough line.
If he doesn't follow through and live up to that tweet, he's going to look weak in the eyes of Russia and Iran. So this is a defining moment, Mr. President.
Tara Palmieri joins us live from the White House tonight. And Tara, Republican Senator John McCain is being critical of President Trump for those remarks where he signaled he would pull troops out of Syria.
That's right, Tom. Senator John McCain put out a scathing statement against the president tonight, saying Assad was, quote, emboldened by the president's surprise announcement last week that he would be pulling troops out of Syria. Tom?
Tara Palmieri from the White House for us. Tara, thank you. Now to new developments in that deadly fire at Trump Tower here in New York City. A resident of the 50th floor did not survive the blaze, which broke out Saturday night, sending burning debris tumbling down the side of the skyscraper. You see it right there. Now, questions about whether a sprinkler system would have helped as fire investigators probe what caused that fatal fire inside the building the president and his family called home. Here's ABC's Zachary Quiche.
Tonight, fire investigators looking for the cause of this deadly fire 50 floors up. Debris falling from the Trump Tower, home of the president's penthouse and the global headquarters of the Trump Organization. One resident warned to get out.
Michael Cohen, who's Trump's lawyer, texted me and said, "Are you in the building?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You better get out ASAP."
More than 200 firefighters rushing to the scene, 6 were injured. These photos, taken by a worker in a building next door, show what the firefighters in yellow jackets were up against. The heat and heavy smoke, too much for the resident of the apartment found engulfed. Todd Brasner rushed to a local hospital and pronounced dead soon after. The 67-year-old resident was a prominent art dealer who was friends with Andy Warhol. His apartment, along with the others on the residential floors of the building, had no sprinklers. Built in the early 80s before sprinkler systems were mandated, Trump Tower is a 58-story, all-glass luxury building with offices and residences. According to the New York Times, nearly 2 decades ago, President Trump, then a real estate developer, fought against legislation requiring sprinklers. One complaint, costs.
What's the argument that sprinklers should be placed in buildings like this one?
Sprinklers should be placed on buildings like this because the fire won't extend. The fire is going to be controlled.
The building was not evacuated and the fire was contained to one unit. The first family was in Washington, and according to the fire chief, the fire did not reach the first family's private residence. Tom?
Zachary, thank you. Next tonight to the wild winter weather, now more than 2 weeks into spring. The high plane slammed by snow tonight, an Allegiant passenger plane from Las Vegas skidding off the runway after landing in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Already this weekend, slick conditions on the roads in Oklahoma blamed for spinouts and crashes there. More on the freezing start to the week for millions with Sam Champion in a moment, but we begin with ABC's Kenneth Moten on the scene of that massive landslide in East Pittsburgh.
Winter not going away quietly, blasting millions tonight from coast to coast. It looks more like February in South Dakota, 4 inches of snow in Sioux Falls, where wintry conditions caused this plane to slide off the runway. Wind chills in the 20s this morning from Oklahoma to North Carolina. In Oklahoma City, icy roads blamed for more than 24 accidents this weekend. And in Louisville, Kentucky, they're just over it. Down south, 10 reported tornadoes from Texas to Louisiana. A mangled mess of debris outside Shreveport. New video of an EF3 tornado in Jacksonville, Alabama last month, showing just how fast these twisters move. April storms also slamming the West Coast. In Oregon, strong winds knocked this tree onto a Portland house. Up to 6 inches of rain in Northern California, flooding streets and swelling rivers. In western Pennsylvania, landslide emergencies.
You heard a loud crash, and I thought it was a car crash or something.
Route 30 near Pittsburgh collapsed 40 feet. Mud and debris slammed into an apartment complex below. No injuries, but 30 people evacuated. Resident Dan Martin praying his home is safe.
I'm just concerned that I'm not going to be the next one sliding over the hill.
Tom, state officials say they're dealing with 70 active landslides in this region, which means crews haven't been able to completely secure the area after hillsides like this one came down. Tom?
70 active landslides. All right, Kenneth, thank you. Let's bring in weather anchor Sam Champion now. Now, Sam, you were telling me earlier there's snow on the radar, but good news also.
Good news is that this last hit of snow right here for the Midwest, or the last one for this week, really weakens quickly, and then we've got some better news. Let's get to the board side. We'll show you everybody what's going on. So these are the totals right now. Aberdeen coming in at about 7.5 inches. Clear Lake coming in at about 5 inches. This snow weakens, so Chicago just gets some flurries out of it. Now, focus west. Look at Vegas, look at LA, look at Phoenix. Follow the areas of red. We may see our first 100 degrees plus in some areas in Southern California there, probably Palm Springs. Now watch when we get to Wednesday. Look how that warm air moves into Wichita, 80 degrees. Look at Des Moines, 68. Des Moines getting some snow today. Now look at this. If you're in one of the cities that's been locked out of mild air, look at New York at 68 by Friday, Washington, D.C. in the 70s Thursday and Friday, Louisville in the 70s as well. This is our first real touch of spring temperatures during spring for a lot of people.
All right, and we will take it. Sam, thanks so much. Moving on now to members of the National Guard and how they're now mobilizing to secure the Mexico border. The White House defending the president's order after a spike last month in illegal border crossings. Here's ABC's Marcus Moore in McAllen, Texas, near the border.
Tonight, the Trump order in motion. Up to 4,000 National Guard troops headed to the U.S.-Mexico border. 250 in Texas, in what the Department of Homeland Security is calling a growing migrant crisis.
We've got a leaking boat on our border, and we're all quibbling with how much water is in the boat and how fast we're bailing it out.
DHS says attempted border crossings increasing 200% in March compared to last year, when illegal border crossings were at historic lows.
We don't know if they're murderers, if they're killers, if they're MS-13. We're throwing them out by the hundreds.
The president, frustrated by a lack of progress in building his wall, now sending in the Guard. But the newly arriving troops won't work as law enforcement, instead advising Border Patrol agents.
This is where we welcome them.
Sister Norma Pimentel runs this Catholic charities group that assists migrants awaiting asylum. She's worried about the military presence.
It is important to keep our country safe, but I also think it's important never to overlook the human aspect of these families and their needs and why they're coming.
DHS says thousands of people try crossing into the U.S. illegally every single month, and tonight it's unclear how long those National Guard troops will be here along the border. Tom.
Marcus Moore on that story tonight. Marcus, thank you. Next tonight, a community rocked, a nation grieving after a bus carrying a junior hockey team collided with a tractor trailer in Canada. The Prime Minister expected at a vigil tonight as questions swirl about what caused the deadly crash. Here's ABC's Adrian Banker.
Tonight, investigators have the unimaginable task of determining the cause of this horrific crash. It killed 15 people, mostly teens. This happened when a tractor trailer and a bus carrying the Humboldt Broncos, a Canadian Junior Hockey League team, T-boned on a rural road. The heartbreak felt across Canada and the hockey world. This moving photo of 3 of the surviving players holding hands from their hospital beds, reaching around the world as millions of dollars have poured in to support the families, from everyday people to teams in the National Hockey League.
Tonight is going to be hard for our community. It'll be one more step in this process of healing.
The head coach among the dead.
He loved the boys he coached.
The players, ranging in age from the teens to early 20s, were on their way to a semifinals match. Professional and youth teams paying respects.
Offer a moment of silence.
The Chicago Blackhawks and the Winnipeg Jets wearing Broncos jerseys in tribute. Tom, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will be in attendance at a vigil tonight ahead of the multiple funerals scheduled in the days to come. Tom.
Adrian Bankert for us. Adrian, thank you. And there's still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Sunday. The demolition disaster. What caused this silo to collapse in the wrong direction? What it destroyed. Plus, Tony Robbins apologizing tonight. What happened in the middle of one of his seminars involving the Me Too movement that outraged so many. Plus, police say a man brought an assault rifle onto a party bus, killing 3 people. Tonight, the manhunt underway.
This is ABC World News Tonight, sponsored by Allstate.
I'm your phone, stuck down here between your seat and your console, playing a little hide and seek. Cold. Warmer. Warmer. Boiling. Jackpot. And if you've got cut rate car insurance, you could be